We are having some technical difficulties. Let's continue. You know, let's continue. 972. Oh, we're sorry. We are having some technical difficulties. Let's continue. Program 972 647 1893. No.
When I look back over my life, think about what God has done for me. So much He has done that I just can't get it all. He's been my all.
Yes. Hey, how you doing, sir? I'm getting good, it's Joe. You want to go out there with Brother Joe? Okay, hang on a second, sir. Hey, bro, very good.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
okay. Okay, line one.
Line 4.
Okay. Okay, you can hang. You can hang it up.
You got it?
That goes. Hello.
No, you missed
Are
it.
you there? Hello. Hello, are you there?
It's on. It's on.
It's blinking, but
It's on.
it's on.
It's on.
Hello. Okay. Oh. Go ahead now. We can. Whichever way you want to do it. Okay. Okay. I don't know. I did not answer the phone at first. I don't know how we crisscross one phone to the other. So I was supposed to put you on. So hold on. Hold on. Hold on, please. Idele-Ero. All right, all right, all right. I don't remember the last time.
Yeah,
We
that's
have
so
we have
funny.
our roving reporter on the airways of KNON Radio. Let's get him on. Uh, oh my God, I don't know how that came to my mind. Anyway, are you there, my brother? Hello, hello, are you there? Red Ghost, are you? Okay, go ahead. You're on the airways. Yes. Okay, okay, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. I'm glad you are doing something with the city to help the citizens of Dallas, and we are really, really appreciative. And I hope you are staying abroad ahead of the coronavirus, as is something going on globally. And yeah, so I just hope that everything will go down eventually. And I do understand. I believe was in overseas that they said they have discovered a cure for um, coronavirus. That's what I got. But I will not release the information yet until I actually uh, verify it and do what is needed before I can put it on the airways. But thank you very much, and you stay safe. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Are you excited? I'm the
Hello
soul
out there,
of the earth.
our fans all over the world. Welcome to One Victory Voice, streaming live now on KNON 89.3 FM on YouTube. And the program remains your favorite gospel program every Sunday that comes up between the hours of 4 and 6 p.m. Central Time. This is your one and only brother Joe Brown Idele-Ero, and brother Joe also in the studio with me today on this special edition of One Victory Voice. We hope that you enjoy the program. Please, every Sunday, try and subscribe to this YouTube channel because we're going to be going live, and we probably will be posting it later on Facebook and other social media. We invite you now to join us on um, YouTube as we stream live. Just type in Joe Brown, Joe Dash Brown Idele-Ero, Idele-Ero. That is JOEBROWN IDELE-ERO slash YouTube.com, and you will get us live now on KNON 89.3 FM studio. Every Sunday we'll be out here streaming live for you on this YouTube channel, Joe Brown YouTube. And we hope that you enjoy the program. We thank you for listening to us, for taking your time out there to stay with us every Sunday as we bring you the program One Victory Voice. And remember, I know that what's going on at the moment globally is this coronavirus, and a lot of steps has been put out there for you to keep yourself safe and that of your family. Yeah, remember to always wash your hands, and don't put your hands in your face on without washing your hands. Sanitize your hands with sanitizers, and that is available everywhere. Get sanitizer. Let that be your daily practice. Practice these steps, and you'll be safe. Again, also remember to follow the social distances, like about 6 feet apart from, avoid being in the crowd. This is not the time around to socialize in a crowded area. So try to kind of distance yourself from other people. That's what they call the social distance. So practice all that, and by the power of God, you will be safe. And we hope that you enjoy the program. One Victory Voice of KNON 89.3 FM. My name is Joe Brown Idele-Ero. Thanks for listening.
Which one is oh, because it's 5 days. Well, that's what you want the this day, right?
Yes, sir. Do bear with us. We are still trying to put everything together here on this new studio. You remember we had serious damage on our previous location for this studio that was damaged during the tornado. So this is a brand new studio that we still try to put this together for clarity and all. We will appreciate your patience with us as we continue to put them all together, so that we will be able to bring you more clear and visualize program, for your enjoyment, for your Sunday delight. So we are always here for you, and we appreciate that you join us every Sunday, to enjoy great gospel music, ministration from ministers that are always available, to pray with you. With the ministry all over the world, I'll be bringing you news bits that has to do with Christian gospel program from all over the world, especially how the Christians are being persecuted all over the world. Stay tuned.
972-647-1893 is the phone number. And we are going to pause for a quick message and we'll get out of the money for you. I did not
The first time I was in front of an orchestra, hearing my own music.
Don't need the old one? Donate that old car to KNON. Be sure to tell the operator which radio show you'd like your vehicle donation to support. It'll make the radio in your new car sound so much better when it's powered by your support of the voice of the people. We'll pick it up, get top dollar for it, and use those dollars for community radio. You may also qualify for a tax deduction. For more information, knon.org or call 877-KNON-AUTO.
Here are some measures that the station is taking to stop the spread of the COVID-19 virus that you can implement too. Wash your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands. Clean and disinfect frequently touched surfaces daily. Wear a face mask if you're sick. A face mask won't stop you from getting sick, but it will help stop the spread of the virus. And stay home if you're sick, except to get medical care. For more information on how to stay safe, visit cdc.gov.
School. It was a song that I wrote just dreaming about being in heaven. I remember I was still with my mom and dad at the time. And I kept the song for years, didn't sing it for years. Probably maybe 10, 15, going towards 20. But I dream of myself being able to stand in God's presence and say this, listen. As we enter your gates, in your courts we give praise, with our voice singing blessing and glory. Any worshipers here? In our hearts we draw nigh, lifted hands to the sky, we bow down at your throne and cry worthy. Our God is the Lord, it is you, your Lord. As we sing, let your throne be exalted, preparing the way, your descent we wait, as you dwell in the midst of our praises. Come on, right where you are, see yourself in his presence. And just wiggle in the atmosphere, see yourself. See yourself worshiping him. You've made it there, you're standing in the clouds with the saints of old and the saints of new. No restriction, no weight, no burden, no heaviness. You're free to praise him, free to honor him, free to adore him. Bless you, Jesus. Bless you, God. Hallelujah. Glory to your name, God. Now the Lamb has been slain. In a book is my name. I will sing a new song, thou art worthy. My greatest refrain, when he calls out my name, I'll sing glory and honor. I lay it over, and I'll sing praise to the ancient days. Lift up your hands. Out of your spirit, say praise. With my hands. has been slain. In a book is my name. You gotta proclaim it out the center of the song. Thou art worthy. My greatest refrain. When he calls out my name. So we want you to sing glory and honor. Now, some people would say, I don't understand.
What time is it? It is miracle time. Again, my name is Ima at the airways of KNON 89.3 FM. Oh, oh, you can call me Brother Joseph as well. Join us every Sunday afternoon, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. on One Victory Voice, an interactive Christian program about music and ministration. Yes, it is a mixture of contemporary and international gospel featuring interviews with local, national, and international acts. Listen.
Kings and kingdoms shall all pass away, but there's something
Okay, almost done.
about that name. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus.
There is something about that name. Master, Savior, Jesus, like the fragrance after the rain. Oh, Jesus, Jesus, Lord Jesus, let all heaven and earth proclaim that kings and kingdoms. Okay, so stop. They shall all ready there.
Oh yeah, whenever we yeah. Let's see.
But there's something about that name. Oh,
In a minute, I'll be bringing you the news bit. Stay tuned. Don't go away.
shall all pass away, but there's something about that name. Jesus. There's something special about that name. There's something special about him in our lives. There's something special about his hands upon us. There's something special that we must dedicate our life to him and his Father, the name Jesus. That's part of what we are up to here at the Idele-Ero FM. I want to be triple. We want to say thank you for listening to us. And at the same time, we want to encourage you to do Bible every day. Okay? No? Do it. Just as much as you eat, that's how you should be able to read your Bible. And of course, practice what you read on the Bible. All right? You know what I mean? Don't be mean to your neighbor or someone one way or the other, treat them nasty. No. Humble yourself at all times. God will give you that desire of your heart. Now it's time for our news beats with our own brother Ero and brother J-Ero at Idele-Ero FM. Hold tight.
Good evening once again. My name is Joe Arrow on the studios of KNON 89.3 FM in Dallas Fort Worth. Here is the news bit. Today is the 28th day of March 2020, the year 2020. A former UK Prime Minister calls for temporary global government to combat the coronavirus. A former United Kingdom Prime Minister is asking world leaders to consider creating a temporary global government to help manage the coronavirus pandemic. Gordon Brown, who served as Prime Minister from 2007 to 2010, said he hopes world leaders health experts, and other international leaders can work together on a response to the pandemic, The Guardian reports. This is not something that can be dealt with in one country, he said. There has to be a coordinated global response. Saudi Arabia has since hosted a virtual meeting of the G20 group of developed and developing countries. Brown, however, said the meeting should also include the UN Security Council. In the meeting, G20 leaders promised to do whatever it takes to combat the economic and social damage from the coronavirus pandemic. Brown was a central part in dealing with the 2008 global recession. Brown approved a bank rescue package for the UK and other economic measures to help with the recession. That was an economic problem that had economic causes and had an economic solution. This is first and foremost a medical emergency, and there has to be joint action to deal with that, he said, of the pandemic. But the more you intervene to deal with the medical emergency, the more you put economic at risk. Brown said a coordinated global effort would be able to develop a vaccine and to organize production, purchasing, and profiteering. We need some sort of working executive, Brown said. If I were doing it again, I would make the G20 a broader organization because, in the current circumstances, you need to listen to the countries that are most affected, the countries that are making a difference, are countries where there is the potential for a massive number of people to be affected, such as those in Africa. Police in Nepal arrest pastor for touting healing prayer amid coronavirus pandemic. Police in Nepal arrested a Christian pastor this week, according actually that's last week, according to him, of giving false information about COVID-19 by saying Christian prayer could bring healing from the disease, so he said. Pastor Keshab Achanya, 32, was taken into custody on Monday, March 23rd, from his home in Pohara, Gandaki Pradesh province, after a video appearing on social media of him rebuking the novel coronavirus as he preached to his church, according to his wife, Janu Achaya. Pastor Achaya received a phone call from a man requesting prayer for his sick wife at about 8 p.m., she said. The person wanted to come to our home for prayer, and my husband agreed, provided him the address, and asked him to come over so we can pray for his wife. Jonah Achaya told Morning Star News while they waited, the couple's 2-year-old son wanted to dance with them to a Christian song. And while they waited, like I said, the couple 2-year-old son wanted to dance with them to a Christian song, General Achaya said. In the meantime, we're bringing you another news from this time around from Burma. A civilian Christian killed amid military fighting in western Burma. Burmese army jet fighters killed 21 civilians from the predominantly Christian ethnic Chin group in airstrikes this month in western Burma, Myanmar. Sources said in Palawa Township, Chain State, the Army of March 14 struck Mexawa villages 2 and 3, killing 12 civilians. Area residents reportedly said 8 more died in attacks the next day on Wetman village, and one the next day on Wetman village was killed in Payan Time village, they said. The Burmese military member of parliament said the predominantly Christian villages were targeted because army personnel believed Arakan Army AA rebels from Rakhine State on Chin State's southern border had taken cover in them, according to Mai Ten Yumon, program director of Chain Human Rights Organization (CHRO). Another 28 civilians were wounded in the attacks, he said, adding that more than 1,500 villagers fled the area as some of their houses were burned down. Chain Christian leaders and local residents said that based on past persecution they have endured at the hands of the military, they suspect army personnel fired indiscriminately at the villages, in part because the inhabitants were Christians. Under the previous military regime, troops came to their villages and systematically persecuted the Christians in order to impose Buddhism. We're going to pause for a minute, bring you a quick message from our sponsors. Don't go away. Welcome back to the news beat on KNON 89.3 FM and the program remain One Victory Voice. Um, Still in the news, Chain Christian leaders and local residents said that based on past persecution they had endured at the hands of the military, they suspect army personnel fired indiscriminately at the villagers, in part because the inhabitants were Christians. Under the previous military regime, troops came to their villages and systematically persecuted the Christians in order to impose Buddhism. uh, Prior CHRO reports have outlined how Burmese troops destroyed church buildings and persecuted Christians. A big Jen Zhao Mei Ton, a military spokesman, reportedly said that the government troops were returning fire at AA rebels and that it was unclear which side caused the civilians' casualty. We used fighter jets and helicopters in military operations, but it is difficult to tell if the fatalities were caused by the jets, he told Erawadi. When we use the jets, we take more care and aim only at the enemy's location. This is about all I got for you today on Newsbeat. I will be right back to you, same time, same station, next week, Sunday, to bring you another round of Newsbeat from the program One Victory Voice on KNON 89.3 FM in Dallas. Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoy the program. Please stay safe out there. The coronavirus is real. Practice the precautionary measures that is put out there. Wash your hands quite often and avoid social practice social distances and do not, please, do not put your hands on your face without washing your hands and other steps to be taken to prevent the COVID-19. Thank you for listening.
89.3 FM in Dallas and Fort Worth. This is One Victory Voice coming to you from the studios of KNON 89.3 FM in Dallas and Fort Worth. And our phone numbers are 972-647-1893. And we're going to go very briefly to those. We had a few people calling for their prayers. We are going to do that right away, and then we also bring you today's history. All right. Again, if you want to join the prayer line or if you want, yes, it's 972-647-1893. And of course, we have Sandra Boyd just calling. We also hear from Anthony Dayton calling as well, as Sylvester Williams calling, and of course, our very own Sister P. Oh my goodness, Sister P. Oh my God. She's just extraordinary. And lastly, Mr. Benson. How they so called. Let us pray for them. This is more or less like a corporate prayer, when we all join hands together and pray. All right. So definitely, Sister P had requested for divine prayer for divineness, favor upon her and household, and good health. So let's start from there. Our Father in heaven, my Father, my Father, my Father, we call upon your name this day, O God. As our brothers and sisters are calling for prayers, that you will open the gates of heaven to hear our prayer and accept our prayers for what it is asked for. That you are a God that never fails, you are a God that favors all humankind, regardless of our sinfulness. My Father, I ask you to bless Sister P, because she has given abundance
he's off line
into your bosoms. And you said, whoever sows into your bosom will never come back empty. My Father, I ask for multiplication of our life. I ask for longevity of our life, oh God.
So
I ask that you let her live to see the greatness of your hands in her life. Father, we thank you for all your favor upon her divineness that no man can take, no one can intercede. Father, we thank you for all you have done for her. We pray for our sister, Sandra Boyd, oh my God, that whatever her desire is at this hour and this time, my Father, will provide it for her. Oh, they make her shape.
Sure is, yes.
You will provide it for her, my Father. You will give her good health, my God. You will also enable her to do things that you have put into her life. Speak to her, oh my God. Speak to her, touch her, guide her everywhere she goes, oh God, that the hands of the enemy will never come near her. We pray for our brother, Mr. Anthony Dayton, oh God, that whatever he wants for him this day, oh God, that it will come to pass. For the Bible said, this too shall come to pass. The Bible also said that word never come back for you. He may tarry, but he never come back for you. Father God, whatever these prayers are for, this afternoon for each and every one of them, Father, hear our prayers, sanction every word of their desire, and that they will come to say hallelujah, hallelujah.
Well, hopefully I will be
oversung
by the power of God. So we pray
that you will see about him
and
every day.
as soon as that goes away, we will continue to do what we get to do in the ministry. I appreciate your call, sir. But we'll expect you next Sunday, and do give us a call back next Sunday so we can talk about it, okay?
Wake him up.
You have a good one, and stay safe out there, okay? And
Speak to him. Speak to him. Speak to him. Speak to him, my Father. Lead him everywhere he goes. Let him know you are always on his side. We thank you for the abundance of which you have provided. And we ask that more and more and more we come to know you and give their life unto you. We thank you for all our brothers and sisters who are listening to us this afternoon. Thank you for the healing for those who are sick. Thank you for those who are in need of something in their life and be a God of provision. Father, we thank you, we bless your name. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen and amen.
Amen.
As we continue, we want to quickly do today's in history, and we will take it from here. Time is running. We have to do a lot of things, by the way, in case if we don't know. We are taking precautions for the coronavirus.
Coronavirus.
So everything has to be intact. But we pray that we will do the same as well. Let's go into today in history very briefly. We are not going to take too much of your time. Today is the 29th. Am I correct?
Yeah, you got that right.
29th day of March. The year is running. You know that?
Yeah.
All right. We take it back to this day in the year 1547 when English reformer John Harper and his wife are welcomed to Zurich in Hundrich, Bollinger, having temporarily left England because of persecution by King Henry VIII. Harper will perish at stable under the Mary Tudor. Also in the year 1549, first Jesuits arrived in Brazil, led by Father Manuel de Nubregra. And lastly, just to be very brief, we in the year 1549, I'm sorry, 1751, get me right.
Oh, wow.
The death of Captain Thomas Curran upheld at the sight of children dying in London streets. He had urged the creation of the funding hospital in that city. The orphanage will be claimed as the world's first incorporated charity, and its chapel, the captain's remains, will be entered on April the 3rd. And that is what we have for you, because you are looking at the good o'clock on the wall. Time is running, and we got to make way for our next program in Numbers and Bible. Unfortunately, we will not be able to do the usual talk we always do, because we have to adhere to the instructions of coronavirus is spreading. But before I do leave, I want to quickly remind you that gospel music is heard 7 days a week at 89.3 FM, of which this is one of the first one for the first day of this week on Sunday afternoon, which is one victory boy. But thank God tomorrow is Monday. It's Monday at 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. will be Gospel Doctor. Breakthrough is the title of the program by Dr. Gospel Doctor. On Tuesday, you hear Heavenly Remedies by Reverend Johnson. On Wednesday, you hear from Bishop Beneda Scott, who went the Gospel. On Thursday, we hear live and direct from Pastor Kenneth, Just Believe by the Bishop K.D. Davis, 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. And on Friday, you will hear from our very own Lisa Dallas. Oh my God, Lisa Dallas, wonderful. That's Friday morning gospel. On Saturday morning, you also hear Songs of Inspiration by our very own Pastor Ezra Davis. And then on Sunday, we have a celebration beginning at 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. with the voice herself, Joyce Tobler. Quickly followed at 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. will be our very own Andrew Hicks. And at 10 o'clock in the morning will be Pastor Rick Day with Praise with a Purpose. And lastly, on Sunday, you hear one beautiful voice that comes in at 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., which you are listening to now. And we thank you for supporting Gospel, and thank you for supporting KNN Radio. And we look forward that when it's all said and done, you will remain together as a family. Let's thank God for all His favor. Amen and amen.
We want to thank you for listening to the program. Once again, we are about to make way for the next program, Beyond Boss and Arrow. And we hope that you do enjoy the program. And we will see you right back, same time, same station for another edition of One Victory Voice on KNO 89.3 FM. Thank you. As always, we hope that the Lord will keep you and your family, your businesses, your job, as we continue to go through this together, this coronavirus issue. Everybody have been advised to stay at home if you do not have anything so special to go out there. Just stay indoors and then avoid being infected. So that is the reason for everybody being asked to stay at home. And do remember to always wash your hands, sanitize your hands as always. Thank you for listening, and you have a great Sunday.
And lastly, I want to remind you that don't forget to do your prayers. Do your prayers, and God will go to work for you. Remember that the servant doesn't, king doesn't wait on the servant, but the servant waits on